Honest, who do you call when you are at your lowest? Who is that one person?
Nobody. I'm a man. No one cares.
Not a single soul. Nobody.
No one. Because I'm all alone.
I know that the world doesn't want to admit this, but there is a difference between man and woman. Who do men call? There will be people in my life, but they are not the first people I turn to. I turn first and foremost to God. Welcome to the Father Leo Show, where I am dishing out faith, culture, and commentary. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the struggles of what it means to be a man. Now, this podcast is one for everybody. This is just for a podcast where we are trying to help Catholics be good Catholics, especially in a divided world. But in this episode, I want to get to the heart of one of the great struggles of our Catholic faith, and that is, to be honest with you, a lack of understanding what it means to be a man. And when you don't understand that, trust me, women won't understand what it means to be a woman, because you need that complementarity of the relationship. And so I'm going to jump into this, but before we do, I just want to say thank you for those who like, subscribe, share, and comment. You have no idea how that helps us in the internet's algorithm that wants to suppress good Catholic content. And let's admit, there's a lot of misinformation out there about what it means to be a man. There's toxic masculinity, or there's this basically soy boy approach to manhood. What does it mean to be a man? Hopefully this episode will help you, because if it does, it'll help women to be real, godly women. And as always, we can't do a show like this without your support on our Patreon community. Remember, you can join at many different levels, but if you are a supporter, you will get not only access to the commentaries for this and all of the episodes, but you also get some really great perks as well. So let's just jump into a faithful discussion about what it means to be a man. And by the way, women can listen too. Whenever you hear a bishop or the Holy Father offer a blessing, they might say something like this, blessed be the name of the Lord, and we respond now and forever. And the second part is really cool. It says, our help is in the name of the Lord. And then we respond, who made heaven and earth. And this idea of who God is to help us is actually rooted in another prayer, and it's one that many consecrated people or ordained priests will say. They'll say, God, come to my assistance. O Lord, make haste to help me. Why am I bringing this up when it comes to manhood? Well, because I sometimes think that men don't know that it is okay to be vulnerable. It is perfectly okay to be vulnerable. And I want to start off with watching this video because it kind of really cut me when I saw it, cut right to the heart of things that I struggle with in my own priesthood, but also in my own manhood.
Who do you call when you are at your lowest? Who is that one person?
Nobody. I'm a man. No one cares.
Not a single soul. Nobody.
No one. Because I'm all alone.
I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that I don't call anyone. Thank you for the guys when I say this. Literally no one.
Do y'all call someone?
Nobody. Just nobody. Don't know what to talk to. You guys.
No one. I don't know.
No one cares. I wouldn't call anyone. I wouldn't turn to a single person on this earth because they don't care. They will just find a way to use it against me.
I don't know about you, it might be the music and the background, I'm not quite sure, but all I know is that is a question that I always have to ask myself, whenever I'm feeling vulnerable, whenever I'm feeling kind of down, whenever I'm feeling perhaps even slightly depressed, who do I call on? I mean, do I call my mommy? Do I call my daddy? I mean, I have a great relationship with my parents, but no, I don't. Do I call my brother? Again, I love my brother. My brother is a good man of God. No, I don't. Do I call my two sisters? No, I don't. Do I call my wonderful nieces and nephews, who I hope will take care of me when I get old? No, I don't. I don't call anybody. And I can probably say that that's true for a lot of my brother priests. And so when I want to enter into a discussion about faithfulness and vulnerability and manhood, I think that those words are not mutually exclusive. You know, in order to be a faithful person, you have to rely on God on all things. That's why we started off the show with this understanding of a prayer. God, come to my assistance. O Lord, make haste to help me. Our help is in the name of the Lord. Who do we call, men? And by the way, the question also applies to women as well. Who do you call? Now, for women, they have this natural affinity to call a friend, to call, you know, a sister. And God bless you for it. But there is a difference. I know that the world doesn't want to admit this, but there is a difference between man and woman. Who do men call? And I can honestly say that a majority of these men, their responses are responses that I would have. It's because I'm a man. I'm supposed to be able to take care of these things on my own. And when I can't, who do I call on? Well, God willing, there will be people in my life, but they are not the first people I turn to. I turn first and foremost to God. And why? Because before God made Eve, it was just Adam alone. And it really required Adam to focus on a relationship with God. But it is in his relationship with Eve that he's supposed to see a helpmate. A helpmate. The struggle is, this is a real challenge these days. I think that was an idea that was consistent with the way societies lived. Husbands and wives, men and women helped each other. These days, not so much. And that's why I want to enter into a conversation about how culture is hurting men and, in a sense, de facto hurting women. So when I say that culture is really the culprit in men's struggles, it's because culture wants to replace the cultus Dei, the cult of God, the worship of God. Culture wants to be run by elitists who want to break humanity and make them dependent on a government, perhaps even a one world government. And so we have to remember that if culture is without God, it starts to look like something that I've seen in another video, which really is broken. And this is why men are broken. Check this out.
What do you look for in a man?
Oh, I can bear almost anything as long as he has clean teeth.
I look for kindness and sincerity most of all.
I think personality, warmth and affection for children are the main things.
Don't know really. Physique, interest.
Do you think looks are important?
Sometimes it all depends on the man.
What about money?
Money's not important.
Would you marry an ugly man?
I've married one.
What's your craziest confession?
This guy's 20 minutes after I his best friend. I 3 dudes in one night, and it was the natty championships of UGA.
I beg your pardon?
The third one actually ate the second one to come out of my p***, so that was funny.
Hey, yo, what the?
They both came in me.
Hey.
Where's the bag? Where's the...
I cheated on my boyfriend with the guy I told him not to worry about.
Should he have any control over what you wear when you go out?
Oh, hell no. No.
I'm so sorry for that toxic language, but this is what we're dealing with in today's world. We're dealing with a culture that has raised up a false sense of femininity, a femininity that almost in a sense wants to make women superior to men. And that is not biblical. Man is the head of the household. And you know, it might sound very archaic, but when you take a look at St. Paul's letter to the Ephesians, he's always made fun of because he's like, men, you're the head of the household. But men has to love his wives as much as women are supposed to submit to the man. And therein lies the struggle, because we are becoming a world where man and woman are no longer collaborators, they are competing against each other. And the women of the past, just even in the 60s, were so much more respectful. Yes, they were demure. These days, you just saw, these are random women on the street being asked questions about their relationship, and they've all literally turned into self-styled prostitutes. And that's really unfortunate. Who makes them that? Is it the man? Or is it an ideology of evil? It's very confusing to me what really is the problem. Is it the man not taking responsibility and initiative, or is it the woman being influenced by evil? So I saw another little video clip that might point to the problem, but I kind of want to explain my take on this, because after you see it, I want you to think about the conclusions that you have.
I'm just going to ask you some questions about your son. Right. And just answer them to the best of your ability.
I will do. No problem.
Very good.
Yeah.
What is your son's birthday?
No, that's a good one. That's a really good one, because I don't know.
You really don't know his birthday?
I don't know his birthday.
Can you name your daughter's teacher?
Mrs. Jones.
Nope.
Mrs. Moore. It's not Moore?
Nope. That was my elementary school teacher.
What are your daughter's birthdays?
Ah, why do you do this to me?
What about her?
I give up.
Any guesses?
Yesterday.
Oh yeah, yesterday!
Horrible. Her birthday was yesterday, and you forgot. Can you name the best friend of each of your daughters?
Mari Carmen Rojas, Jimena Lopez, Adamari Lopez, Cristina Cornejo.
Good. Can you give us the name of their doctor?
Fadi Torres.
Good. Can you give us the name of their dentist?
Games Dental.
What are your daughter's birthdays?
Yes, May 28, 2009, August 8, 2013, February 24, 2006.
Okay, I want you to draw conclusions here, okay? The conclusions are this is a deadbeat dad. For that reason, most men being deadbeat men have had to raise up strong women. And yes, when a dad can't remember his daughter's birthday, even when it was just yesterday, now that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. But I kind of look at my own mom and dad too. Did my dad know my teacher's name? Probably not. Does he remember all of our birthdays? I think he has a general time frame. I mean, he delivered me. My dad's a doctor, so he delivered me. So maybe he does. I don't know. But I can tell you that my dad had to worry about other things. And mom, she had to focus on other things. The complementarity of the relationship made me want for nothing. I still felt affection for my dad. You know, my dad wasn't the most cuddly person. He is with the grandkids. I mean, like with us kids, he was like he was the disciplinarian. But when it comes to the grandkids, he is super uber cuddly with them. Does he know their birthdays? Probably not. Probably not. But does that make him a terrible person? No. Because what you have is, at least in that family with the mom and the dad, a complementarity of the relationship. Now, that's no excuse. Men, learn your kids' birthdays. Learn basic facts about them. My God, that's just normal. But this is not an excuse. But because a father has to provide for other things, it can be a reason why he doesn't know certain things that a mom might know, because a mom is traditionally spending more time with them. These days, however, when men are not present in their children's lives or even present in the family, then the woman has to take over. She becomes both the bread earner and the compassion giver, and that leads to her feeling incredibly alone and therefore having to do it on her own. And that's where this kind of unfortunate toxicity of femininity comes into play, and it also increases, or at least decreases, the involvement of the father. So I'm not blaming women and I'm not blaming men, but I'm saying that the complementarity of both is really being hindered. And in this case, what it does is it makes good men. It makes good men feel like they have to take care of everything. And in so doing, they don't take care of themselves, as evidenced in this little video clip.
Anytime you ask a man how he's doing, especially if he's a father, he's always going to say, I'm fine. But what he really means is, I'm fine. 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 I'm fine.
Eesh. How many times have I said, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, and I'm not? Well, this is a real struggle for all of us because I think these days now women are saying the same thing. I think there's a real breakdown in who we are and in who we seek help in the midst of our vulnerability. It's a real struggle. So I'm going to say this, though, that whenever I see these kind of videos and I hear men speak about their brokenness, I do have to wonder, is it a product of them having a bad understanding of what it means to be a man? Or is it a problem of women having a problem in being a proper helpmate to a man? And so I saw another video clip. I know this is video heavy, but it all really kind of comes together, which I'm going to talk about in my commentary. But I want you to at least watch this. This is super funny, but also kind of true. Check this out.
I just read the definition of mansplaining, and it sounds a lot like how my wife explains things. A condescending tone of something that is obvious, but I guess it's only patronizing if you got a dick, cause I can't remember when a time my intelligence wasn't insulted by the results of a comment that she said, like how to crack an egg or how to put my son to bed. 5 nephews, 5 nieces telling me make sure you hold his head. But if I tell you to be careful when parking the car, not to scratch the rims, everybody's like, here we go again. Now it's all toxic and masculine. She's not faulty, she's confident. You're a monster when you're arrogant. You apologize when you throw a fit. That's some classic gaslighting. Yeah, that's that patriarchy at work. Which one's doing the other one worse? Which one's getting embarrassed in TikToks? Being left out for wearing the same shirt? Yeah. Happy wife, happy life. But happy husband, I guess something ain't right.
Whoa. There you have it. First of all, that's a pretty good rap right there. And I have to admit that it is funny and unfortunately also kind of true. But is the weaknesses of man due to toxic femininity? Well, I think it has to do with brokenness of humanity. So I am not all about blaming women or blaming men. I'm all about blaming sin. I hope that this episode helps you kind of deal with where you ask for help and where you point the blame, which I'm going to jump into more in my commentary for all our Patreon subscribers. But that's just at least what I want to leave all of you. Who do you ask for help and who do you blame? Because those answers will determine the healthiness of a relationship between man and woman, and man with himself. And by the way, women with themselves. And so we need answers to these questions. Who do we call on when we need help? And who do we blame when things go wrong? Thanks for watching. I certainly hope that this gives you something to chew on. I hope that there's going to be some messages that you can digest as well. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And also support us on our Patreon page, because at very many levels you can get access to the commentary, even for this show, but also get some special perks. So God bless you. And in the meantime, stay hungry for God.